despite there being little or no independent support for the biblical stories of the virgin birth or the existence of Jesus Christ. Joseph Ratzinger has written the book Jesus of Nazareth, the Infancy Narratives, to debunk what he calls several myths about how the Nativity unfolded. According to an article on the Worldwide Religious News website, the Pope says that the Christian calendar is actually based on a blunder by a 6th century monk, who Benedict says was several years off in his calculation of Jesus' birth date. According to the Pope's research, there is also no evidence in the Gospels that the cattle and other animals traditionally pictured gathered around the manger were actually present. He also debunks the claim that angels sang at the birth, a staple theme of Christmas carols. However, Alessandro Speciale, Vatican correspondent to the Religious News Service, claims that the Pope was not so much aiming to debunk myths as trying to show that the Jesus depicted in the Gospels is a real historical figure who walked on earth and talked to people like anyone else. How Ratzinger does this is not really clear, but Speciale also claims that the Pope is not challenging or criticizing Christmas traditions. The Pope is a traditional man, and he doesn't want people at all to change their traditions. An article in the Catholic Register does not mention myths or debunking, but does put a more positive spin on the Pope's message. The Nativity story is not merely an event in the past, but has unfolding significance for people today, with implications for such issues as the limits of political power and the purpose of human freedom. How do the three magi fit in with the Nativity story? The Pope writes that the three wise men symbolize the purification of science, philosophy, and rationality. John Henry Sachs, Baron Sachs, chief rabbi of the British Orthodox synagogues, appears to believe that the secular times are over and only religion can help sustain a welfare state. During a parliamentary debate on the role of faith in society, Sachs presented his case for a positive and active role for religion as a means for sustaining the welfare state when the government was unable to do so. According to him, while in secular times religion was often misunderstood as a strange set of beliefs, idiosyncratic rituals, it could be better understood for its teachings about making sacrifice for the sake of others through charity. Lord Singh, who was responsible for initiating the debate, said he wanted to counter the fact that religion today has a bad press. After hearing from peers of all faiths, Baroness Warsi, Minister for Faith and Communities, responded by saying, "The government believes that religion plays a vital role in British society. Not only do we support people in their right to follow a faith if they choose to do so, we also celebrate faith and faith communities' contribution to society." However, her answer did not address the West London Synagogue rabbi's suggestion that the government should consider drawing in people of faith to debates about education for everyone, volunteering for everyone, and the needs to learn, to give, and receive. Despite the fact that the motion to allow women bishops in England's Anglican Church was defeated in the House of Lati by only 6 votes, supporters of the motion are angry and distressed. The Church's decision on women's bishops may affect its credibility in any debate on gay marriage. Sir Tony, the Tory MP and Church Commissioner, said church members would be deluding themselves if they thought their views on moral issues such as gay marriage would be given the same weight as before. Sir Tony, who was required to answer House of Commons questions about the decision, said that it was impossible for him to explain the result, which has led to renewed calls for the Church's privileged status as the established Church to be re-examined. However, the motion may be re-examined soon and resolved very quickly if plans to bring together the rival groups are successful. It is very possible that these groups will be asked to meet with trained mediators, more used to working in war zones, as part of the process. One option could be asking them to go to the International Centers for Reconciliation, the organization once directed by the incoming Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Weibel. On a positive note, at least one group has signaled its agreement to attend talks mediated by a senior clergy figure, possibly a dean. Reconciliation among all members in the Church of England is vital if the Church wants to assure Parliament that the Church of England is not out of step on other issues of concern to Parliament. In what appears to be a counterattack, a Canadian Islamic organization is accusing a Toronto area Jewish day school of using a textbook that vilifies Muslims. The Canadian Council on American Islamic Relations wants the Center for Jewish Education of UJA Federation of Greater Toronto to examine the book 2,000 Years of Jewish History, which Karkan alleges describes Muslims as rabid fanatics with savage beginnings. Karkan's allegations came just weeks after police cleared East End Madrasa, a local Islamic school, of hate crimes allegations after Jewish groups filed a complaint. However, according to the organization, the complaint brought about welcome changes in the East End Madrasa. It appears that Karkan wants to see some changes made at the Joe Deek R. Haminet Hapartik School, the school that is the focus of this latest complaint.